Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Roger's Kakasungura YouTube channel. It has been a long day sitting listening to the lawyers from the defense side led by senior counsel and the former Kenya Attorney General Gith Muigai. It has been a long session and personally, I have sampled for you tough questions that the defense is set to clear the air tomorrow. The first thing in the morning, they requested around 30 minutes, I think, and they were granted by the court. If you're watching this video, take your 2-3 seconds and click that subscribe button and turn on your notification bell. Today, the defense side have been asked tough questions which we are waiting to see how they will be responding tomorrow. And the questions I have sampled from all the judges in fact turned out to be what I have been analyzing in this platform. Because Justice Oko posed a question that there were allegations that 33,000 vote difference were noted between the vote cast of the president, the governor, and the women rep. Some of those instances arose from what they called stray ballots. Now, Justice Oko was seeking clarification that how many ballots constituted to stray ballots and how the stray ballots were distributed in terms of counties. That will be upon the defense side to respond and make clarification. Oko also raised a question that there were cases of people maybe voting for the president alone. And he was asking on the same issue of the stray ballot papers. You know, stray ballot paper is a paper that is put in a wrong box. That's what we call a stray ballot. For example, if one has a ballot for the MCA and puts it in the ballot box of a governor, when they are counting, that one is separated as a stray ballot. So they were asking whether there were instances from the defense side where people were given 6 ballot papers and they only chose to vote for the president. The appointment of the chair was gazetted as the chairman himself. And Justice Oko was seeking to know whether Chebukati was gazetted as an agent of the commission or he was gazetted as a national returning officer in his capacity as the chair of the commission. That is a question that the defense will be responding in court. And he asked, the KM kits, according to the explanation that was given by the defense lawyers, was alluding that the KM kits were used in 45,994 polling stations out of the possible 46,229. When you minus, that gives a difference of 235 polling stations. Now they were asking, assuming manual register was used to identify them, can the judges say that the numbers from these 235 polling stations were used to manually identify the voters. Let me put it very clear like this. They are asking, the KM kits were used in 45,994 polling stations out of the total 46,229. So when you minus, you'll find that only 235 polling stations that used a manual register. So the judges were asking, can they assume that the numbers from these polling stations, the total number from these polling stations were identified manually? Maybe there's something they wanted to understand. 1.6 million votes, according to Okiya Omtatah, who presented his numbers yesterday, was streaming in many hours after the closure of the voting day. So the judges want to understand how this was possible. Omtatah raised a concern that 1.6 million votes were still streaming in even after the closure of the voting. So they want a clarification from the defense how that was possible. And Justice Oko asked a question I've been asking myself. Kenyans were following the live streaming and we were glued on screens. But all of a sudden, the live streaming stopped across all media houses. So the judges are asking, why did the sudden stop happen? I also could love to know why. Justice Ezekiel Naola said that there was an extra day that Chebukati was left with constitutionally, and he's asking, why did Chebukati hurry to announce the result and did not wait until the actual day laid down by the constitution? Why did he hurry to announce an election one day before the deadline? So they want to understand why. And he was asking, Chebukati in his affidavit is raising a concern about the chaos made him not to announce the remaining 28 constituencies. So the commissioners are asking if Chebukati in advance knew that there were an additional 28 constituencies before preparing the auditorium for the final declaration, why didn't he involve the four commissioners for a consensus so that what we are witnessing could have not arisen from the commissioners? So that is a question that they are supposed to respond on, why they announced an election just one day before the deadline. He also said, according to the presentation that was given by the defense, they alluded that the initial format of the form that is sent to the server is in JPEG format. Now they are asking, at what point did it change to PDF? So they want also that explanation. Justice Susan Ndung'u became so tough, and he asked a very long question. She was asking, and the way I saw her, she was fed up and angry from the facial expression. The drafts of the Constitution introduced an independent commissions, and independent officers to deal with the issue of authoritarianism, accountability, transparency, and to do away with the issue of one person having the powers. You remember all presentations said it's only Chebukati who has the powers to announce the result. It's only, no any other. It is only Chebukati. Hakuna mwingine. So you saw those arguments. So Justice Susan Ndung'u was seeking clarification as per the stipulations in the Constitution that the drafts of the Constitution introduced independent commissions to eliminate the issue of authoritarianism, accountability, transparency, and to do away with the issue of one person having all the powers. But from the trends, from the narratives in court, the picture that came out from the arguments is that the IEBC has an all-powerful chairman who is Chebukati. And the other commissioners have nothing to do in their constitutional roles. What will happen? That is Justice Susan asking. What will happen if, because the chairman has all the powers, what if he announces wrong results or he becomes mentally incapacitated, or another way, he dies? What happens? Because the lawyers in court painted a picture that the final results, all the powers to declare the final result is vested on Chebukati. What if he announces a wrong result? Or what if he's mentally incapacitated? Or what happens if in the process he dies? Ladies and gentlemen, he was also seeking to know what is the role of the other commissioners, because the lawyer suggested that the chair works only with the chief executive officer, that is the CEO. And she was questioning that the CEO, there is nowhere the CEO is vetted in Parliament. It's only the commissioners who undergo the vetting. Now she was asking, then why does the CEO, who is just an appointee, seems to have all the powers? Yeah? Why is he holding immense powers in the commission as compared to those of the commissioners who are vetted in Parliament? Now she was asking, what does actually the commissioners do in the electoral process? So the defense side will be responding tomorrow. The position of an MCA, the position of a governor, the position of a member of parliament, the position of a senator is locally announced at the county tallying center. Now she was asking, when it comes to relaying the results to the public through a gazette notice, who actually does that job? Is it the chair himself, or is it the commissioners, or is it a collective responsibility for them to relay the final result through a gazette notice to the public? So they are seeking that clarification. We had Justice Smokin. He was asking, the most important role of the commissioners is to oversight the tallying and the verification of the results process on behalf of the people or on behalf of the electorate. Then you find the commissioners were being restricted from accessing the results. Now he was trying to understand what is the meaning of oversight as stipulated in the Constitution as a role of the commissioners. Hey, today I'm becoming a lawyer. Hallelujah. Now he wants to know, because from the argument in the court, the commissioners were assigned other duties away from oversighting and doing the verification of the results. So they're asking, if Jebukati assigned them other roles, then why does the Constitution commands or says that they should oversight? And they were seeking clarification to know the definition of the term oversight as per the lawyers from the defense side. Another question was raised to whether the Venezuelans got access to the servers. But you remember when the court granted an order for the IBC to grant access to Azmio, Smartic company that supplied the KM kits and was running the servers, the coding and everything, the installation of the IPs and everything. It released a press release and said, there are things we cannot grant access because they infringe our rights. Now Justice Mokin was seeking to know, because in the affidavit filed in court suggests that the Venezuelans had no access at all to the server. Their work ended just after supplying. And one lawyer from the defense side again contradicted that statement and said, according to the contract between Smartic and IBC, the Venezuelans, as they call them in quotes, they were given rights to maintain the server. Now, Smoking was so suspicious and asking, if they were maintaining the server, it means they actually were accessing the server. Now he was trying to ask the IBC, he was asking the IBC for them to define what they actually meant by doing maintenance. If you are doing a maintenance to a system, it means you have full access to run the maintenance. So, yet IBC said that no one was given access to the server. So by the virtue that the Venezuelans were doing the maintenance, it means they had access to this server. Chebukati, in his first mention when he was addressing the nation, he publicly said that there is 65.4% voter turnout even before all the results streamed in. Now, Smoking was trying to understand, if before all the results had streamed in, we already had 65.4%, then Kenyans expected a change of a rising value than a reducing value because there were more votes coming in from other areas. Then they were asking, why was the variance? Why was the decrease? Is upon the defense to respond tomorrow. Chebukati argues that the advisory council visited him in Bomas and they were influencing him to re-engineer the final results. Now, Smoking was asking, it means the Security Advisory Council knew the result in advance even before the final tallying happened. So Smoking is asking the lawyers, can we assume that the Security Council had already known the result? And if they knew, who told them? Philomena Mwilu, Justice Philomena Mwilu, raised around 3 questions here, 3 or 4, 3 questions. 1, what is the constitutional role of the 6 commissioners under Article 140? So the defense will be explaining the roles of the commissioners. And she said numbers are very critical because they determine the threshold 50% plus 1. And the numbers are very important as long as they are not interfered with. or they are not affected by anything else resulting from the process, good numbers project good results. So she was asking, did the working of the 4 commissioners towards the declaration of the final result affect the numbers 50% plus 1? The defense argued that it was upon the candidates to put the agents in every polling station. Now, Mwilu was seeking to understand, what if it emerges that there are no agents in a particular polling station? Is it not the role of IEBC to make sure, even in the absentia of the agents, is it not the mandate of the commission to offer a credible, transparent election? Because the defense looked to accuse the petitioners of having weak agents. So does it mean when you have a weak agent, the IBC manipulates a result? Then what is the essence of their constitutional mandate of conducting a transparent and credible election? Lastly, the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Mother Koome, asked 3 questions that were very hot. Constitutionally, the role of the IBC is to supervise and conduct elections. Then why did the chairman deem it fit to himself to allocate commissioners domestic roles, leaving the core business of the commissioners to the CEO? That is a question. The commissioners, their role is to keep verifying the results and keep asking questions whether the president-elect met the constitutional threshold before the chairman can go and announce. That is their role. Then why were these roles trimmed from them and given the CEO? Then Mother Koome seeks to know that Chebukati alleges that there were misunderstanding between him and the 4 commissioners. Then Mother Koome was asking, why did Chebukati refuse to come public and tell Kenyans that yes, my other commissioners have a dissenting opinion, let's go back and form a consensus? Why did Chebukati keep quiet and never told Kenyans about this issue? Ladies and gentlemen, from this issue, it's very clear that numbers are not challenged in court. The only big question in this petition, from what I've gathered since yesterday, is about the process. Numbers are not challenged. So if they are going to give a verdict on 5th, they are going to base their judgment 90% on the process rather than the numbers. Because if the process is compromised, definitely the numbers are compromised. So kwa wale mnasema sijui fulani alishinda, sijui matokeo kwa pota, it's not about the form 34A. It's not about the 50% plus 1. It's not about the who scored which votes. The question here is about the whole process. Situngoje kesho. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. May God bless you.